dan and dobrodošli. Welcome to the first recipe of our Slovenian month. Now, if you've ever been to Slovenia, you'll know that it's the most amazingly beautiful country, nestled in the foothills of the Alps, mountains, valleys, lakes, and the amazing Adriatic Sea. If you haven't been, then go. You won't regret it, believe me. It's a wonderful, beautiful, fascinating country. So for our first recipe, we're going to use one of the most traditional and sought after ingredients, especially at this time of year when it's in season and people go out collecting it by hand or going to local markets to buy it. So let's look at what we've got. So the magic ingredient is mushrooms. We also have potato, garlic, onion, that's the base of our sauce, butter for frying, flour for thickening, and for seasoning we have oregano or marjoram if you can get it, bay leaf, salt and pepper, and we have vegeta, which is a Slovenian vegetable powder, but you can use a vegetable stock cube, that will do almost as well, just this is more traditional. I've also got some dried porcini mushrooms because we can't get as many wonderful varieties here as we can in Slovenia. Then we have some white wine. Then we have a couple of ingredients which aren't on the traditional menu, but I'm including them to give it an extra oomph. First, a little bit of cognac, and then a little bit of truffle oil. And then for garnishing at the end, we have some parsley and some sour cream. And what we're going to make today is gobova juha, mushroom soup. So for our equipment today, we need a chopping board, a knife, a potato peeler, a bowl or jug, a wooden spoon and a saucepan. So the first thing I've done is peel and dice my potatoes into small pieces, you can see there. They're ready to go into our soup once it's been prepared. And the other thing I've done is reconstitute some of my dried porcini just by pouring some boiling water on them and leaving them to soak for a little while. And now I'm going to chop up our mushrooms, our other mushrooms. As I say, I managed to get, these are sort of portobello-ish type mushrooms. And that was pretty much all I managed to get apart from my porcini. But if we were in Slovenia and September is really peak mushroom collecting month, they'd be finding all sorts. They'd be getting jurčki, which are a sort of type of porcini mushroom, and chanterelle, those lovely yellowy mushrooms, and one called umbrella cap or parasol cap, but actually in Slovenia there are thousands of different types of mushrooms because of the climate, because it's got so many different types of climate. So we're just going to chop these all up and then we're going to head to the kitchen to make our gobova juha. And I should say, when you do the we'll add the dry porcini here as well to our mix, but don't throw away the juice it's been stewing in, because we'll add that to the soup once we get into the kitchen. See you there. So our ingredients today are 225 grams of mixed fresh mushrooms, chopped or sliced, 10 grams of dried porcini mushrooms soaked, 150 grams of potato diced, half an onion chopped, 2 cloves of finely chopped garlic, 50 grams of butter, a tablespoonful of flour, 1 vegetable stock cube or a little vegeta plus water, 75 milliliters of white wine, 1 bay leaf, a teaspoon of marjoram or oregano, a dash of cognac, which is optional, and a dash of truffle oil, which is also optional, and then for garnish, a tablespoon of sour cream and a tablespoon of chopped parsley. salt and pepper. Okay, so if you remember last week when we were doing our Madeira sauce to go with the steak rossini, or indeed the orange sauce with the duck à l'orange, well, it's almost the same this week. I've melted my butter in the saucepan, and I've added my onion and garlic, and I've just cooked that for a few minutes to soften. And now I'm going to add my flour to thicken it all up. I'll stir that around so it thickens up like that. And then we're going to add our wine, a bit of wine. Stir it around. Mix that into the flour. See how that goes. Now we'll add our, this is the water that we use to soak our porcini mushrooms. So I'm going to add that. Stir it around a bit more. And then I'm going to add my little splash of cognac. And now I'm going to add some water. So that's basically the base of our soup. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon or so of Vegeta to give it some flavour. So Vegeta is just dry vegetables, a Slovenian speciality, but a vegetable stock cube will do just as well. And then we add all of our mushrooms. Seems a lot, but as the mushrooms cook, they'll give out their juices, they'll shrink a little bit, so there'll be a bit more liquid and a bit less mushroom as time goes on. And a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then we've got our bay leaf and our oregano, or marjoram if you can get it. And then it's not on the menu list, but I'll add a little bit of Worcester sauce as well, just because I can. And that's basically it. Now we're going to cook that down for around 10 minutes or so the mushrooms start to reduce. And then after 10 minutes or so, we're just going to add our chopped potato and then keep cooking that for about another 20 minutes or so after that till the potato is cooked through. And then basically we're there. We have our mushroom soup, or goboriuba. And here we have our finished soup. Just finished with a dollop of sour cream and a sprinkling of fresh parsley. Served with some crusty bread and a glass of crisp cold white wine. Delicious. Na zdrowie. See you next week.